So the more insecure we become in terms of job, housing, study, all kinds of other important aspects of life, the more important the intimate relationship becomes, because that's where we can find that security and stability and comfort. I don't really have an opinion about the Valentine's Day, but personally I don't celebrate it. I guess it becomes hard to do that when, as part of my job, I've come to see it as a symbol of capitalism, commercialization of the experience of love. So how you can buy or purchase the experience of love. So I guess that makes it difficult then personally to celebrate it, to take it seriously. But at the same time, as an anthropologist, I'm also interested in the importance of rituals to people, how despite this association between capitalism and Valentine's Day, giving or receiving a red rose can still be meaningful, can still be important to people. So the question of why it is important to people is still very interesting. Well, I have not done research on Valentine's Day specifically, but I do share the observation that it seems, if you look at the images that come to us through social media more generally, Valentine's Day does seem to be very much heterosexual couple focused. So I'm afraid that more generally heteronormativity is very much at work in our societies still. This reminds me of a research project by a student of mine, which was about how Dutch parents choose last names or family name for their child. And even among couples who identify as feminist, both mothers and fathers, after having critical discussions about it, they end up giving the father's last name to their child. And this is just to show how, that the sort of the tenacity of patriarchal norms in our society, as just one example. Maybe only the realization that monogamous nuclear family is not a natural way of living together. It's just one option among many, and that we can live together in different ways. That would be helpful. At the same time, I also think that there is a problem within monogamy itself. So people who live in a monogamous relationship are not immune to this anxiety concerning this fear of missing out. Or this demand to be happy all the time. These values, these demands also affect them in their relationships, asking constantly, have I made the right choice? Is this the right person for me? And so I think regardless of monogamy or non-monogamy, relationality is an important issue to pay attention to. How do we want to relate to one another? Per definition, different generations live in different social and cultural contexts, and I think the context is very important for what we come to value, also in relation to love and intimacy. So how romance and romantic love has become a very important way to sort of become yourself. More recently, we have developed a kind of language. We use more labels to put on specific practices of sexuality and love that we did not have before. So that is now more important. It's interesting, I just finished reading a novel by Zadie Smith. The title is The Fraud, and it's it takes place in early and mid-19th century England. And it's very interesting to see how queer people were in their everyday life. It's just that they didn't use the same language as we now do. So they were not concerned with the labeling and how to call it. They just did it. And so you see that there are differences between generations, but there are also some similarities, I think. The interesting thing is that even the fluidity can now be labeled. For instance, you can have relationship anarchy, which is about rejecting all kinds of frameworks to define how love is supposed to look like, or a relationship. So you have polyamorous relationships, but that's there are some conditions in order to be able to call it polyamorous. You have open relationships, but you have also, for instance, relationship anarchy, where people want to reject all kinds of labeling, but then still there is this labeling of, being different from other people, namely, anarchist.